On the surface, the Windows PowerShell interface looks harmless, but underneath, it provides direct, low-level access to the deepest mechanics of the operating system. That deep access is exactly why executing a single, poorly understood block of code can instantly corrupt a machine, delete critical files, or quietly expose credentials to the open internet. This grid maps 30 PowerShell scripts into 3 distinct zones to measure threat level: the safe checkmark, cautious question mark, and dangerous exclamation point. The foundation is the checkmark zone. These defensive and neutral scripts carry the lowest risk, requiring minimal privileges. Take script 28 as an example. It utilizes built-in Windows forms to simply trigger a standard dialog pop-up box with an OK button. Or script 29, a defensive tool that launches a harmless one-line web server, allowing an IT administrator to test network responses locally without installing heavy software like Apache. By sticking to these low-privilege tools, beginners get a safe sandbox. You can learn the core syntax and mechanics of PowerShell without risking the system's integrity. Moving up to the middle tier, we hit the question mark zone, the dual-use scripts. Here, the lines of code are identical whether they are typed by a legitimate system administrator or a malicious hacker. The threat level depends on the intent of the person running them. Consider the concept of COM automation. This is a built-in feature that allows external scripts to open, read, and write inside Microsoft Office programs automatically, without requiring a human to click a mouse or press a key. This flowchart illustrates the legitimate use of script 22. An IT administrator relies on this COM automation to securely comb through local server logs, generate a weekly Excel report, and save it directly to their local drive. But an attacker can abuse the exact same script to quietly extract private corporate data from Excel and seamlessly exfiltrate it to an external server, all without triggering a single security warning. Because these commands are so powerful, running dual-use tools on a network you do not own or without explicit written consent is illegal. Dual-use code demonstrates that permission and intent define cybersecurity risk more than the command itself. At the very top of the taxonomy sits the exclamation point zone. These are offensive scripts, the actual weapons found in real-world malware and advanced persistent threats. These scripts achieve their high impact through direct hostile actions. They actively manipulate system memory, steal user access tokens, and deliberately blind built-in security features. To understand how they work, look at the Anti-Malware Scan Interface, or AMSI. This is the built-in Windows guard that normally inspects every line of PowerShell code for malicious patterns before allowing it to run. This schematic illustrates script 1. It physically overwrites the specific memory block governing AMSI. By altering those bytes, it forces the guard to fail open, meaning AMSI reports the dangerous code as clean. Further up is script 3, which targets a process called LSASS. It extracts system passwords directly out of the computer's running memory and pipes them into a hidden variable, bypassing the hard drive entirely to evade traditional antivirus scans. The environmental rules here are absolute. Offensive tools must never touch a daily use computer or a production network. They can only be executed in strictly isolated virtual machines with no outside network connection. So why learn them? Because defenders must analyze these destructive tools in isolation to accurately reverse engineer attacker behaviors. You have to see the weapon fire to build a better shield. Looking at this complete 30-script grid, the taxonomy makes one thing clear. The threat tier dictates the required testing environment. Defensive scripts are your open playground, ideal for unrestricted learning and safe system management. Dual-use scripts are powerful administrative tools that demand explicit, written permission before execution. And offensive scripts must be permanently quarantined in an isolated testing lab. Professional network defense requires understanding system vulnerabilities from an attacker's perspective, while rigidly maintaining an engineer's ethical boundaries. Which brings us to the ultimate safety mandate. When there is any doubt about a script's impact or your authorization, do not run it. Following this taxonomy of risk transforms PowerShell from a system liability into a primary asset for network defense.